So I've just graded a little bit of material up towards the top of the hill. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn round, okay? But what I am going to do is I'm going to turn in an area where I know I'm going to doze. So rather than going around the outside and doing a turn and ruining the ground, I'm going to turn where I know I'm going to doze down. So if I do my turn here, again, I can't rotate. There's a time and a place we can't rotate in, and if it can be avoided, it should be avoided. So it doesn't matter that I've made a mess there, because I'm going to go over this bit of material that I've pushed up, nice and steady, and I'm going to push it back down the hill. Okay, but what I am going to do is I'm going to work from the left to the right or the right to the left. So if I work from the right hand side to the left hand side, because what I want to do there is I want to grade my blade, I want to reference my blade against existing ground formation, so I can tie the level in. Again, I'm going to leave it high, cut it high just to change the way it goes. It seems like I'm doing a lot of messing about, but there's no other way of doing it with this material. And you can see just by how it's not coming out of the blade, how difficult it is to work with. So work from your left to your right or your right to your left, whichever way you want to do it. Again, because it's sticking to the blade, I need to leave it high again. I just need to basically, so it's a work in progress getting this in like this. And remember, it's got to go back to original contours. So you've got to spend a little bit of time on it. So you'll see there I'm lifting the blade, allowing that material to come out. It's still not falling where I want it to fall. But this is how difficult it is to work with. This is why a lot of people get it wrong. This is actually a really good way, a really good video to demonstrate how difficult it is to get this material back in. It's the backfill which will take you the longest to do. So this material here now, what is in front of the blade, I am going to lose this. Okay? So I'm just going to basically just tilt that out, chop it and blend it. So I'm just blending now, picking a little bit of the material to blend the levels in. What I want to be feeling for is no transition. So this material here, I'm going to lose it. I've got no choice to lose it because it won't fall out the blade. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to lose it in massive clumps. I'm just using the blade, the tilt on the blade, just to gently track it and chop it up. Don't risk carrying the material too far and dumping it somewhere where you don't want it. Lose it before. Lose it where the cut was. If you're not sure about it when you're doing your test, something you're not happy with, you're okay for time, just spend a bit of time on it until you're happy with it. Don't just like look at it and think, sod it, that'll do. Because if a tester's watching that and he sees like you're just thinking, sod it, that'll do, and there's an evident fault there, okay. So you've got 2 hours and 45 minutes to do that. The longest thing will be your backfill, depending on the ground type. If the ground type's alright, then your backfill won't be a problem, but just try not to overshoot your backfill. Try and keep your backfill, try and get it in the hole where it came out of. If you do need to turn around, but don't get into a habit of having to turn around from the top and then doing it and then pushing it up to the top and then pushing it out the bottom, pushing it to the top, pushing it to the bottom, and definitely don't get into a habit of losing it around the whole side. If you do finish your test and you're happy with everything and everything like that, make sure that you do your shutdown procedures as well, okay? So let the engine idle for a couple of minutes. This is the moment where you'll obviously sit there, you'll take your seatbelt off, you'll shut any windows and all that sort of stuff, make sure that there's no faults on the machine, let it idle for a couple of minutes, shutdown procedures, turn it off, get out, 3 points of contact, lock the door, do a walk around. Do not forget about doing your walk around on the machine to make sure that there's no leaks or there's nothing what looks out the ordinary on it, anything like that. Any good tester will be looking to make sure that you do a walk around afterwards. If you can isolate the machine at that time, then isolate it, depending on what type of machine it is. If you can't isolate it because the little green light's on, don't isolate it. Just tell your tester that I can't isolate it just yet because the green light's on. By the time you've done your walk around, that might have been enough time for the green light to go off, okay? Good luck.